Hello, this is Matt from XL Pro Tech, and today I'm going to be continuing this keyboard replacement in a HP Pavilion. It's a 15-P47NA. So we left the stream yesterday where we basically tried to stick the keyboard down. Basically the glue that I used wasn't particularly great, so what I actually went and did was put some iPad style tape down and stuck the keyboard down. I was happy with that. The next part that needs to be done is to stick this metal plate down. Now this metal plate is quite weighty, so basically the other glue that I use, the black sort of iPad tape, isn't going to stick this down. So what I'm going to show you now is basically the method that I'm going to use to stick this down with a much stronger glue. I'm going to show you what that glue is. I'm going to stick it down, apply it to this metal back cover for the keyboard, and then basically it can be reassembled. Well, I'm not going to show you the reassembly part, basically because it's got a cure. It's going to be quite a lengthy process in doing this for this glue. So let's just move out of the way. For the glue that I am using, let me show you. So in these horrid looking packets here, basically what it is, it's made up of two parts. This is a JB Quick glue. It's like an epoxy resin glue. So it's JB Weld JB Quick is the glue that I'm using. So one part of it, you'll see why I've got the gloves on. It's leaking out all over from the actual containers. And this is by far the sort of strongest glue that I've found for basically fixing up any plastics that have gone on laptops, etc. So basically what you do with it, you mix it 50-50, so we want about the same again. Now it says for this stuff it's about a 6 or 7 minute cure time. You know, you're gonna have to wait a bit longer than that. So let's cap is seized up, so we're about 50-50 there. And basically what I do to mix it is I get a Q-tip, an earbud, take the woolen bit off the end and just use this sort of hardened end, squash the flattened end of it, squash the plastic part of it down, and this basically then becomes my little glue stick thing to mix, little mix stick. So what you're aiming for is like a sort of silvery colour when you've mixed it all together. That should be about okay for what I need for now. If I need any more, I'll come back to it. I'm going to take off these gloves and bin them because I've got sweaty hands and all this stuff all over it. Let's put that messy stuff to one side and bring this back in. So yeah, I mean, I actually did manage to stick this corner down quite well. It's more this underneath part which just doesn't seem to want to stick at all, and you know, the upside's okay, but that's it. If this plate is basically trying to hold everything in, you know, hold the keyboard in and all that, so it needs to be a really good firm connection, as it were. So as I was mentioning, this is the quick version of this glue. So what I'm going to do is trying to get this down pretty quickly. Because we are using a glue, just be careful. You don't want to get this into the keyboard itself and affect the mechanisms, etc, etc. So where I've got bits of plastic sort of sticking out, I'm going to put a bit of glue down over the top of that just to try and seal that up. So it's quite a viscous glue. It's not, you know, quite slimy. It's not going to slide about all over the place. So basically just keep the pressure on while this is drying. As I say, it says it's about 6 minutes cure time. If you've noticed, I do have some clamps to the right hand side of me. Unfortunately, this bottom section is just too... I'm not going to get those clamps on this bottom section, unfortunately. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to try and just do a section at a time, let it dry, and then I'll move over to the other section over there. So I can already sort of start to feel that it's getting it is drying up and it is becoming a bit more solid. When it sets, it does set pretty solid, so we'll be okay once it does set. There is another option for your JB Weld. There's a non-quick version as well, which has a few hours drying time, and that is supposedly, that sets like concrete. So it's a bit stronger, but the downside is that the cure time is a lot longer. Unfortunately, in cases like this, I really need the quick stuff, the quick setting stuff. So yeah, on this bit of paper where I've actually put the thing, it's really getting thick and viscous. I can basically hardly scrape it off with my little glue stick now. And it does look as if it's basically setting on this metal and plastic. So it's working how it should do, basically. As I say, if you've got if you do have problems with plastics on laptops, I do recommend this stuff for fixing them in. I've tried other glues before, and they just don't seem to work. They last maybe a week, and then yeah, they're just dead. It's not going to do your hinges. Nothing really will, apart from replacing your bottom plastics or the plastics for the lids, but it does do a good job elsewhere with plastics, as long as you're not trying to do these nuts where your nuts go into, your bolts go into. It won't really do that effectively, especially not around your hinges where they get a lot of pressure and a lot of usage. Okay, so that has set. It'll take probably a few more hours to completely set, but on the surface of it has set pretty well. So that side is, I can touch that without fear of it getting all over the place. So that side is pretty much down. What I'm going to do, I'm going to squirt a bit more of that stuff on here. I'm going to do the other side. It looks like I could do with some at the top as well, but as I say, you don't need to do a particularly. Let's just show you that the work that I've done a bit closer up. So that's it. It doesn't need to be precise. As long as you've got some underneath it, you've maybe got some on top as well, if that's what you're doing. That should keep it in place, and it should support the sort of weight of this this metal chassis, and should keep it in place as well. And because it's quite a thick mixture as well, it doesn't get it, it doesn't tend to get everywhere and mess things up like some of your other glues, especially like your super glue, which can be quite runny. This isn't a runny glue. You can make it up basically to whatever you want, thickness wise, by varying the amounts of the hardener and the actual glue part. But yeah, you can, let's get that in focus. You can tell it's gone rock hard now. So I'm going to probably do the other side, and then we'll quit the stream there once I've done that side. I'll just put some more gloves on because it's horrid stuff, and you end up with loads of black marks around your fingers if you don't do it, if you get any on you. And I've got a computer build to do this afternoon, so I don't want to be getting a new computer build, let's say, and I don't want to be getting black marks or dark grey marks on the new chassis. So where can you get JB Weld? I think it's actually an American product. I think it's quite well known in America. It's not as well known over here in the UK. What I found, the places that actually do this JB Weld are like car places. So you're in independent car places. I think people use it for sticking down things like number plates and stuff like that on cars. So you can tell it's let's just move this out of the way for a bit. You can tell it's strong stuff if car mechanics are using it. Unfortunately, as you can see, the actual containers for them do tend to give up after a certain amount of time, unfortunately. Let's get a good old blob on there. So we've got quite a bit to go around. And again, just bear in mind, if you are using this the quick stuff, that you're only going to have a limited amount of time to do your work before it will start to set. So I've probably put a bit too much on here. Never mind. Try not to get it on the desk. As I say, but once you start mixing it, just be prepared to go. So let's get a bit of towel. I just got a bit on the desk. So that's it. The hardener stuff and when it's separate, it's not too bad. But once you, as I say, once you start mixing, it does go really hard. As I say, give it a good mix. Smells like sort of something's burning while you're mixing it up. So Just be aware of that. It's nothing's on fire. It's not going to set on fire, but it does stink. Right, let's get these gloves off again, so we're not getting it all over the place. And again, as I say, we're going to get this. Get our little gluey stick thing here, and we're going to pop it where we need it. Let's sort of concentrate around here. Where there is literally nothing sort of holding it on. So I'm going to try and get all the way up here today. Just start dribbling off there. Not good. I might have unintentionally made this one a bit more droopy, a bit more. And I've got it on the desk. Well done. As I said before, just be careful, just try not to get it near the actual keyboard itself. Don't make it too thick or too runny, so that you're impeding the actual keyboard element, the keyboard mechanism. Quite sort of far away from the mechanism over here, so we're not too bad. And again, just be careful. You've obviously got your trackpad under there as well. Okay, let's stick this down. We can probably use a few of the clamps over this side. So I don't have to hold it. If you can find some of these clamps, very useful for iPads and things like that. They are padded in the inside of them, and they're just a screw top, so you can just screw them down. And yeah, I found them really useful. Now they're not cheap though. I think they were about 20 English pounds for 4 of them, so they are expensive, but they are pretty good. I would definitely recommend them. Okay, so yeah, we'll just let that cure, let that dry out. And then basically, as I say, I've got the top to do, and that should be about it. But what I'll do, I'll wait till this cures, talk to you a bit longer, and then we'll basically leave the stream at that. And yeah, just make sure that you're not putting your laptop into the into where you've put the glue. As I say, I would put the glue onto, when you're mixing it up, I'd put it onto a bit of cardboard, something like that, something that you can just throw away afterwards, because it's going to set really hard, and you don't particularly want to put it on anything that that you're going to need in the future. But yeah, it seems to be doing a really good job of this. I've used it before on a couple of plastic things, plastic on the plastics for laptops, and it's been really good. It does seem to hold its own. Okay, let's just see our bit here is hardened up. So our glue stick's pretty much there. So this is all hardened up as well by now. Just still a bit tacky, but when you touch it. But yeah, it is actually hardened, and give it a sort of few more minutes before we release the pressure on it. But I'm quite happy that that has stuck down successfully. And as I say, what I'm going to do is just go around the top there, just as a final way to stick this this big metal plate down. So yeah, if you are time poor, if you don't have a lot of time, I would recommend, and the customer has a bit more money, I would recommend for this model of laptop just replacing the whole of this top section here. If you have a bit more time to spend, or your customer has a bit less money to spend, I would recommend you know, doing it this way, the way that I've showed you over the past 2 days. And it costs you a bit less money, but you know, you're going to need a bit more time just to get it all glued in place and get it right, basically, due to the plastic riveting that HP have used to put this keyboard in. But yeah, do make sure that you use a decent, if you are going to use a glue, make sure you're using a decent quality one like the JB Weld stuff, and you know, make sure that you're using some decent tape to stick down the keyboard section itself, because if you don't, it's only going to crash through onto the motherboard. You know, and cause problems for you further on down the line. Make sure you're sort of doing the job right first time. And as I say, just go through it carefully and slowly, because the last thing you want is to get this sort of glue or the tape sticking down any keys on your keyboard and having to get basically go buy yourself a new keyboard again. So yeah, you can see how strong it is. I can barely lift it off there. That's my glue stick. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave the stream at that. I just thought I'd show you the final part to this. Today's been a bit about wrapping stuff up, so we wrapped up the Samsung Tab 3, and this is another sort of wrap-up video on this one here that we started yesterday. So yeah, taking the clamps off now, and that has stuck down successfully. So happy with that, and let's leave the stream there. This has been Matt from XL Pro Tech. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to support the channel, there is a link in the description that you can click on and pledge money. You can also, if you shop at Amazon or if you shop at eBay, there's a few links in there. Just click on the link, and we're an affiliate of theirs, so we'll get a bit of money if you buy anything. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you very much.